Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your betting game by hitting that subscribe button and never miss out on our daily content. Want exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join our Patreon. Links waiting for you in the comment section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Iowa State versus West Virginia. The Cyclones and Mountaineers are mirror images of each other in many ways. Both teams thrive on a strong ground game, and their quarterbacks shine when they protect the football. With 2 or 3 explosive runners on each side, both teams have the potential for big plays on the ground. However, Iowa State stands out for a reason. They've remained undefeated and are ranked for their consistency. Leading the charge is quarterback Rocco Becht, who has proven capable of making key throws downfield and keeping the chains moving. Meanwhile, the Mountaineers' defense will have their hands full. Ranked 100th in pass defense and allowing over 130 yards on the ground per game, West Virginia's defense is clearly vulnerable. Iowa State should have little trouble moving the ball. The Cyclones' defense is arguably the toughest West Virginia has faced since Week 1 against Penn State. With a secondary ranked 5th in pass yards allowed, Iowa State will likely load the box to neutralize West Virginia's run-heavy attack. The Mountaineers simply won't be able to win the battle in the trenches, and their home field advantage won't be enough to overcome the Cyclones' strength on both sides of the ball. Take Iowa State -3. The Cyclones have mastered the art of controlling the game's tempo with their defense. Their low-scoring affairs are a testament to their ability to shut down opposing passing games while methodically picking apart defenses with their own offense. The total points set for this game is far too high for Iowa State's style of play, especially against a Mountaineers team that doesn't light up the scoreboard. The under is also 2-0 when West Virginia has been the underdog this season. Take the under 53 points. Marshall versus Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern, ranked 82nd out of 134 in the NCAAF power rankings, is stronger than their record might suggest, having faced tough competition like Boise State and Ole Mississippi. They excel in the air, averaging an impressive 239.8 passing yards per game, ranking 51st nationally. With a stellar home field advantage, winning 6 of their last 8 home games since 2023, Georgia Southern is primed to exceed expectations once again. The Eagles have also been a solid bet this season, covering the spread in 3 of their 5 games. At home, they boast a strong ATS record of 5-1. Plus, with added days of rest, they have the preparation edge. Their balanced attack, a dynamic offense paired with a resilient defense, makes them an attractive betting option in this crucial MAC matchup. Meanwhile, Marshall struggles defensively, particularly against the run, allowing 5.3 yards per rush and ranking 113th in the nation. Their passing game is lackluster, averaging only 144 yards per game, 124th in the nation, and they're giving up 424.8 yards per game defensively, ranking 107th overall. The numbers show Marshall is overrated. Since 2023, Marshall has been inconsistent in conference play, holding a 3-6 ATS record. On the road, they are just 3-5 ATS and have lost 7 of their last 8 road games. With an underwhelming offense and shaky defense, betting on Marshall against Georgia Southern is risky. Prediction: take Georgia Southern plus 1.5. The Eagles are built to exploit Marshall's weaknesses and extend their home dominance. As for the total, this game sets up for a shootout. Georgia Southern has consistently exceeded the posted total, going over in both home games this season and 5 of their last 8 overall, averaging 29 points per game. Marshall, too, has gone over in 5 of their last 9 conference games. Both teams have vulnerable defenses and capable offenses, making for an action-packed contest. Prediction: over 61.5 points. Expect a high-scoring affair with plenty of action on the scoreboard. Syracuse versus NC State. Meanwhile, NC State's offense has struggled to find consistency, largely due to their inability to convert on 3rd downs. That's where Syracuse's defense thrives, ranking 52nd in the nation in opponent 3rd down conversion percentage. Coming off an impressive upset win over UNLV, Syracuse has the momentum to roll right into this ACC showdown with confidence. Take Syracuse minus 5 points. Syracuse has been efficient on offense, and when you crunch the numbers, the outlook looks promising. Based on Syracuse's average points per game this season and NC State's defensive woes, Syracuse is projected to score around 35.25 points. On the flip side, NC State's offense, when stacked up against Syracuse's defense, is predicted to score roughly 27.55 points. While the Wolfpack will fight to stay in this game, their scoring just won't be enough to overcome the Orange's firepower. Take the over at 53.5 points. Both teams have the potential to push this game over the total. Syracuse's offense is clicking, and NC State will need to keep up if they want any shot at staying competitive. Even with their struggles, the Wolfpack should be able to contribute enough points to hit the over, especially with Syracuse dictating the pace. Expect a high-scoring affair that keeps the scoreboard busy. Minnesota versus UCLA. Minnesota's offense is all about Darius Taylor right now. The guy is an absolute beast, and his 144 rushing yards against USC were just another reminder of his game-changing potential. Taylor is not only the centerpiece of the Gophers' offense, but accounts for over 50% of their total offensive yardage. His ability to break big runs, control the clock, and set up the passing game gives Minnesota a serious advantage. With Taylor in the backfield, the Gophers can dictate the pace of the game and wear down defenses. Even though Max Brosmer might not have the flashiest stats, he's been efficient and clutch when it counts. He manages the game, avoids turnovers, and adds a red zone threat with his legs, making Minnesota's offense more dynamic. His ability to keep drives alive and punch it in for those rushing touchdowns makes him an essential weapon alongside Taylor. On the defensive side, Minnesota has shown flashes of brilliance, especially in the secondary. Holding USC's high-powered passing attack to just 200 yards speaks volumes about their ability to lock down receivers. However, the run defense is where they need to tighten up. USC gashed them for nearly 180 rushing yards. You can bet that head coach PJ Fleck is addressing those issues in preparation for UCLA, whose balanced offense poses a greater challenge. If the Gophers can limit the explosive plays, especially on the ground, they'll be in a great position to win this one. Prediction: Minnesota minus 5.5 points. Despite the questions surrounding Minnesota's run defense, they have the offensive firepower to cover the spread. Taylor's consistent productivity, both as a runner and a receiver, makes the Gophers tough to stop. Brosmer doesn't need to light up the box score to be effective. His ability to make key throws and manage the game gives Minnesota a well-rounded attack. Against UCLA, the Gophers' versatility on offense will be crucial, especially with Taylor leading the charge. Prediction: over 40.5 points. Both teams have the potential to put up points in this matchup. While Minnesota's run defense has struggled, UCLA's balanced offense will look to take advantage of that. However, the Gophers' offense, led by Taylor and Brosmer, will keep pace. Taylor's explosiveness combined with Brosmer's game management should allow Minnesota to move the ball efficiently. If both teams can sustain drives and avoid turnovers, this game will easily surpass the 40.5 total. Expect plenty of action on the scoreboard. Kansas State versus Colorado. If Colorado is to match the physicality of Kansas State, it starts on defense, an area that has quietly become the Buffalo's backbone. Colorado ranks 32nd in expected points added, EPA. On defense, a significant improvement from last season, with the defensive line emerging as a team strength. In their most recent win over UCF, the Buffs allowed only 2 rushes of more than 10 yards, stifling an offense known for explosive plays. However, Kansas State's ground game will present the stiffest test yet for Colorado's revitalized front, forcing them to hold up against one of the most efficient rushing attacks in college football. Offensively, the Buffaloes continue to lean on the dynamic connection between Sanders and Hunter, who have combined for 561 yards and 6 touchdowns through 5 games, ranking among the nation's best. But while Colorado's passing game thrives, their offensive line has struggled, averaging a meager 2.9 yards per carry, making the team one-dimensional. Still, with Shedeur Sanders under center, the Buffaloes always have a chance, especially given his ability to shine in late-game moments, as he did against Baylor. My team pick is Kansas State Wildcats minus 4 points. Kansas State's offense is a well-oiled machine that excels on the ground. Their 6.93 yards per carry is second best in the nation, and they've averaged 37 points per game this season. Against a Colorado defense that has shown vulnerability in stopping the run, especially against teams like Oregon, Kansas State will likely control the clock and move the ball efficiently, forcing the Buffaloes to score to keep up. Now, on the flip side, Colorado's offense is explosive, thanks in large part to quarterback Shedeur Sanders and the dynamic play of Travis Hunter. Colorado ranks 10th in the country in passing offense, and Sanders has already thrown for 1,725 yards and 15 touchdowns. Even though Kansas State's defense is solid, they haven't faced an offense with the firepower and ability to stretch the field like Colorado's. The matchup here is also about balance. Kansas State's ground game will likely chew up a lot of clock, but they'll also score quickly when they do break through. Colorado, on the other hand, will likely throw the ball more, relying on Sanders to push the tempo. Moreover, the total over/under of 56.5 seems a bit low given how both teams are currently trending. The Buffaloes have seen an average of 59.5 combined points in their games this season, including the UCF and Baylor games. My total pick is over 56.5 points. Boise State versus Hawaii. This is going to be a huge challenge for Hawaii to take on, as Boise State will be the first-ranked team they have faced so far this season, and their season has not had many difficult teams on their schedule. 2 of Hawaii's 5 games played so far this season have been against non-major conference teams, and Boise State should be able to take advantage of this. The Broncos lead the league in scoring and should have no issue against the Hawaii defense, while also not allowing many points themselves. The Rainbow Warriors offense has been non-existent this season, and we should see Boise State repeatedly scoring most of their drives while stopping Hawaii on theirs. I am taking Boise State at minus 20.5 points. We should expect to see Boise State get 37 points in this game, based on the average points per game this season of the Broncos versus the average points allowed from Hawaii. With that being said, I do not think Hawaii will be scoring much in this game, and the total will be largely determined by Boise State. The Broncos' last couple of games in which they had high scoring totals were a result of facing bad defenses, and Hawaii does not have as bad of a defense as Washington State or Utah State does. As a result, I have to look toward the under, with the Broncos not being able to score the over themselves. I am siding with the under at 61 points.